Hello, friends. Good morning. Welcome to today's daily Dharma. And if you are joining us for the first time, last few days we've been exploring compassion and how, starting with the correct understanding and relationship to dukkha, uh, then the very natural outcome of that is compassion. We've been going through the range of the compassion uh, practice, from starting with the self and extending outward to friends and people we don't know, people who we have difficulty with. Um, Yesterday, we started to practice with groups of people, and we will continue to do that today. And then, just in terms of what's coming, tomorrow we'll practice with directions, which is another uh, way, one of the two ways that we extend the Brahma Vihara practice outward. One is with groups of people, and then the other is spatially, actually just out through in all directions. So we'll practice with that tomorrow. So one way to practice compassion is to consciously direct your practice towards yourself, another person, a particular group of people. Um, Another way, which we're going to do today, is to actually begin with compassion practice, say just with yourself, and then kind of rest in that practice. Maybe you continue to do it for yourself, or you just rest in the compassion and you see who arises. Which is interesting, like who actually arises in your heart and mind that you might know or know of, who's having a difficult time, who's experiencing some kind of suffering of the body or the mind. So let's go ahead and get started, settling into your posture. A settled, relaxed body is a good vehicle for any of the Brahma Vihara practices, whether it's loving kindness or compassion, appreciative joy, or equanimity. And as I like to offer the somatic approach as a foundation, then this relaxed attentiveness to the body becomes even more relevant. Sense of the body settling, softening, and opening. What's it like for the front of your body to feel open? The body can help lead or train the mind. And so, if we're wanting to open to suffering in our compassion practice, we want our posture to embody openness. Feeling the sensations of the body, sitting, letting your attention rest with that experience. Softly, you're not grabbing onto that experience with the mind, just softly, like a head lying down, just touching the pillow, resting the mind with the experience, the somatic experience of body sitting. Body sitting and body breathing. Feeling the sensations in the body that are caused by the body breathing in and out. Letting the rhythmic process of the sensations of the breath help to further calm and settle the body. And with the attention connected to the body in this way now, very easy and natural to just point the attention, direct the attention towards where you feel your heart center is. Let the attention come to rest at that place in your body and notice whatever sensations you feel, if any, right at that part of your body. Some people find it helpful to place a hand over the heart center, literally as a way to connect with that part of the body somatically, feeling the hand touching the heart center. Another way that I find helpful to connect with that part of the body is to imagine the breath coming in and out, right in and out of that place in the body, which of course is an imagination. But what effect does that have, if any, on the sensations you feel in the heart center? Perhaps there is this sense of each in and out breath is gently washing over the heart center, caressing it, subtly enlivening it. If you resonate with this somatic approach, you can continue to use it along with whatever other um, technique you use in the compassion practice. And so, as we turn now towards ourselves, if you want, you continue to keep that attention or keep that somatic experience at the heart center present. And bringing to mind now some challenge that you currently have in your life, some difficulty, some bit of suffering, whether it's in the body or in the heart mind. Let that circumstance, let that situation or event come to mind. Bringing attention and mindfulness to that, and also an attention that is kind with an intention to care for. Compassion is simply the loving kindness in the heart directed towards suffering. So, this sense of caring for yourself, caring for this feeling of difficulty and suffering. Just a sense of like, oh, it's hard. It's hard when, you fill in the blank. I feel like I've been left out. It's hard, it's difficult when you know, break your wrist, slip on the ice and break your wrist and are in a cast with your dominant arm and have to do things with your non-dominant hand. That's hard. Maybe there are phrases that help support this feeling of care towards the difficulty. Oh, this is difficult, isn't it? I care for this suffering. Maybe soothing statements like, it's okay. If there's some difficulty or challenge in connecting with this heart mind state, you can imagine how you would be with a young child who is in distress, crying, feeling hurt in some way, and they come running to you, and what would arise for you, right? You'd open your arms, hold them with the intention for them to feel soothed, feel okay. Can we do this towards our own suffering, our own selves? The mind will wander like it does in the mindfulness practice. And as in the mindfulness practice, it will return to the present moment when the conditions support it to. And when that happens, if you're using a visual, it's helpful to reestablish that. If you're using phrases, reconnecting with the phrases and conjuring up as best you can this sense of caring and tenderness towards the suffering and continuing. And now letting go of practicing with the self, letting go of the image or phrases. If you're using the somatic approach, continuing with that. And as you just sit quietly here now, letting the heart be bathed with compassion, just let the mind be open and see who wants to visit. What being or beings, groups of beings that we know are facing difficulty, which ones arise? And can we direct this compassion towards them? Just as it's challenging and painful for us when, say, X happens, well, when X happens for them, very much the same. Family members, close friends, perhaps colleagues. Maybe groups of people we know of, could be from the media, the news, that we know are suffering. There's no shoulds here, just seeing what, who comes into our awareness. Maybe it's specific groups that are having specific challenges, specific people with specific challenges. Maybe it's broader. Maybe it's feeling into the condition of the unenlightened heart and mind itself, still identified to some degree as a separate self, and all that that entails, the struggle, the fear, the resistance that that entails. And letting go now of this exercise, any people or groups of people that were you had brought to mind or floated in, letting that go, just sitting quietly with whatever level or amount, degree of compassion there is in your heart mind right now. And we can end with this final wish that all beings, omitting none, be free from all forms of suffering, body, heart, and mind. Thank you for your practice. And just like it's possible to do with the loving kindness practice, just as you see people throughout the day, just to yourself, wishing them well. As you come across people, whether it's directly communicating or indirectly that you know of, maybe through the news or whatever, and you see the challenges and the difficulties that they're in, just spontaneously wish for them to be free of that, to not suffer, to be free of that suffering. It's a lovely wish. You know, the Brahma Viharas, the divine abodes, it really is a lovely mind state to cultivate. And, you know, there's lots of chances to practice compassion in our world. And really, we don't have to look any farther than this body and mind, but certainly many opportunities to practice outwardly as well. Okay, friends, that's it for our time today. Heading off now into our day, bringing whatever wisdom and compassion we can bring to bear on life as it unfolds for us today. I wish you well with that. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.